let's get a divorce. I've been cheating on you with your best friend.
While I held May in my arms, Josh casually dropped this bombshell.
You know, being at home, I keep seeing a face that reminds me of Lily, right? It's like Lily, Lily all the time. Ugh. I just couldn't help but think, I want to see Lily so bad.
Apparently, every time he looked at May, his feelings for Lily grew stronger. Thanks to that, what started as a fling escalated into something serious. Josh and Lily's vulgar laughter echoed in the room. Lily, weren't we best friends since kindergarten? I asked weakly, only for Lily to slightly pout her glossy lips and tilt her head.
Yeah, we were. So what?
25 years of friendship came crashing down with a deafening sound.
We're having a wedding in Hawaii, so make sure you come.
To invite me to their wedding under these circumstances, did Lily really think we'd still be friends? I don't need a husband like this. I don't need a friend like her either. And 14 years later, Josh and Lily would come face to face with May and discover a certain truth. My name is Samantha Taylor. I'm 27 years old. I got married a year ago, and I'm about to have my first baby. My husband, Josh, and I have known each other since kindergarten and went to the same schools all the way through middle school. Our families lived next door, and our moms would joke, I bet they'll get married one day. It actually happened. We moved out of our parents' houses after getting married, but our apartment is just a few blocks away. Having supportive parents nearby and being able to see my close friends anytime, it's honestly the best. But it does come with downsides. You're going out drinking again?
Yeah, you don't need to make dinner for me, so just get some rest.
Ever since I got pregnant, Josh started going out more often. We used to hang out with friends 2 or 3 times a month, but now he's out 2 or 3 times a week. It's way too much. What makes it worse is that he pretends like he's doing it for my sake. Sure, morning sickness makes cooking tough, but what about me while he's eating out? It drives me nuts how inconsiderate Josh can be. And yet, he tries to be thoughtful in the weirdest ways.
How are you feeling, Sam?
When I tell Josh I'm struggling, he calls my mother-in-law for help. But I don't want her help. I want his. I've been very clear about wanting him to step up and act like a dad-to-be, but he just doesn't get it.
I heard you skipped work again and stayed in bed all day. Josh said he's pretty disappointed in you. Pregnancy isn't a sickness, you know. It's all in your head. I brought lots of food, so eat up and get your energy back.
My mother-in-law walked in, holding 3 large grocery bags. She's always been blunt, but kind, like a second mom to me. Thank you. Oh, is that fish? My eyes immediately locked onto the premium grilled fish from the nearby seafood restaurant. She brought this before, too. I used to love it, but my pregnancy has completely changed my taste buds. I can't stand it anymore. Just the smell makes me nauseous.
Oh, come on. Don't make that face. You still can't eat fish? It's so good.
I'm sorry. Inside the bags were thick pork loin, seafood, fresh spinach, and pineapple, tons of ingredients. Fried pork cutlets and clam chowder were some of Josh's favorites.
These are great cuts of meat and fish. Make sure you eat plenty of vegetables too.
I should feel grateful for my mother-in-law's thoughtfulness, but maybe I'm just too emotional because of the pregnancy. I'm sorry, but I can't make pork cutlets right now. Not being able to cook basic meals makes me feel so guilty. And because of that guilt, I found it harder and harder to stand up to Josh and his selfish behavior. Wait, you're going out drinking again tonight? I already made dinner, you know. Today, I fought off my nausea and somehow managed to prepare tomato braised chicken. It's cruel to say he doesn't need it right after I put in the effort.
Well, it's just that tomato thing, right? You don't have to force yourself to cook. I wanted something more hearty, like fried chicken or something. You just can't beat bar food. Anyway, I'm off.
I couldn't raise my voice to stop him. Josh checked his bangs in the mirror by the door, smiled, and left. It's my fault for not being able to make meals that satisfy him, so I just have to suck it up. I sighed. Ugh, I don't know why, but it smells weird. I feel sick. Why has it been like this the whole time? Being overly sensitive to smells is exhausting. What's this? Suddenly, I noticed something off. I wrinkled my nose, searching for the source of the nauseating scent. Wait, this smell. Did Josh put on cologne? I remembered how Josh used to wear cologne when we were dating. It had a faintly sweet and pleasant scent that I liked. Josh was never the type to care much about fashion. He told me he bought that cologne from a discount store just for our dates. But since we got married, he stopped wearing it. There was no need to put his effort into it anymore. So why did that scent suddenly linger in our hallway now? Cologne, and he's going to a bar with friends? Wait, why? He has tons of friends here, being in our hometown. I assumed he was drinking with the guys, but what if it's with a woman? No. Even if it's a woman, why the cologne? After spiraling in confusion, I reached one conclusion. Could he be cheating on me instead of drinking? When I thought about it, he's been going out way too often. Going out 2 or 3 times a week. I should have questioned Josh's behavior sooner. I couldn't sit still, so I decided to call someone. The person I called was Lily. She's also a childhood friend and knows Josh well. She's the perfect person to talk to.
What? What's up?
What should I do? Help. I practically sobbed into the phone when Lily answered. She sounded surprised, but listened carefully to what I had to say.
Well, Josh is wearing cologne? Yeah, that's a woman.
Lily, always so blunt, spoke her intuition out loud. What? Yeah, I guess you're right. Even though I had braced myself for it, I couldn't accept it yet. I fell silent, letting out a sigh that felt like my soul escaping. Then Lily burst into laughter.
I'm kidding. Don't take it so seriously. Sorry, I was just teasing you.
She laughed so hard she was slightly out of breath.
I'm obviously joking. You've only been married for a year and you're pregnant. There's no way he's cheating now.
You think so?
Totally. Once the baby comes, he won't even have time to go out drinking. He's probably just getting it out of his system while he still can.
Somewhere deep down, I wanted Lily to tell me Josh couldn't possibly be cheating. Her laughter reassured me, and I felt a sense of relief.
I mean, if a wife gets all uptight like that, it just makes her husband not want to come home. Aren't you just using your pregnancy as an excuse to slack off? You need to keep the house in order and support Josh properly, you know?
It stung, but I nodded because she wasn't wrong. Before doubting Josh, I needed to fix my own attitude first. Thanks, Lily. I'm glad I talked to you.
Right? If you're ever in trouble again, you can always count on me, the great Lily.
I could practically see her dramatically flipping her shiny hair with a smug smile on her face.
Well, I've got a date now. We're going to a French restaurant. Aren't you jealous? Being single is so glamorous, isn't it?
Lily can be headstrong, and she tends to make enemies. With her sharp, beautiful features, she's often misunderstood, but deep down, she's a caring and loyal friend. I really love that about her. As my morning sickness eased up, I started cooking again in between work and paid more attention to my appearance. No husband would want a wife who's bedraggled and exhausted all the time, right? But my efforts were in vain because Josh kept going out just as much as before. It's just for now. I want to have fun before the baby's born. I'd heard that men often don't develop a sense of fatherhood until the baby actually arrives. I understood the desire to hang out with friends. So, I decided to cut him some slack for now. But then, one day, I found a receipt in Josh's bag, and my heart skipped a beat. What is this? A single receipt completely unsettled me. It was for a French restaurant, a bill for 2 people. The date? Could it be? When I checked my call history, it was the same day I had called Lily for advice. My large, full-term belly tightened painfully. I was already in my final month. I couldn't find the courage to confront Josh about the receipt. The pain in my stomach grew worse, and I started to break into a cold sweat. That's when I realized I was in labor. About half a day later, after hours of agony, I finally met my baby. My daughter had porcelain-like, fair skin even as a newborn, and her long eyelashes curled beautifully upward. The nurse smiled and said, "She's a little beauty already." I nodded, probably being an overly proud mom.
Wow, our baby is adorable.
Josh, who had rushed to the hospital, was completely smitten the moment he saw her.
She's so cute. What even is this child? A doll. Isn't our kid just on another level?
I couldn't help but smile at how much more over the top Josh was about her than I was. The doubts I had about him blurred into the joy of having our daughter. We named her May, and our happy life as a family of 3 began. At first, everything went smoothly, but then Josh said something that cracked the facade.
You know, May kind of looks like Lily, doesn't she?
What? May has well-defined features. I often wondered who our beautiful May resembled as I gazed at her adorable little face. Her large, round eyes didn't look like mine or Josh's at all. I'd never thought about it before, but now that he mentioned it, her eyes did seem similar.
May, sweetie, want to take a bath with Daddy? Daddy's gonna make you all clean and shiny.
Until recently, I didn't think anything of Josh's overly sugary tone, but now it sent chills down my spine. On top of that, sometimes Josh accidentally called May Lily.
Did I just say Lily? Whoops, totally subconscious. It's just that May looks so much like her.
Even when I pointed it out, he just laughed it off without a hint of remorse. By the time May was 2 months old, Josh's over-the-top affection had worn off.
I'm going out drinking. You don't have to make me dinner. It's easier for you, right?
He left with the same line I'd heard months before, pretending to care about me. He still gave May a quick cuddle, calling her cute, but the enthusiasm to help out or take care of her had disappeared. And then, the worst possible thing happened.
Let's get a divorce. I've been cheating on you with your best friend.
What? Josh said it casually, as I held May in my arms. I had already given up, thinking he'd go out and play around again instead of coming straight home from work. But today, he came back unusually early, around 7 p.m. Standing next to Josh, smiling brightly, was Lily. That's when I understood everything.
You know, when I'm at home, I keep seeing May's face, and it reminds me of Lily, right? It's like Lily. I just started thinking, I really want to see Lily.
Apparently, every time Josh looked at May, his feelings for Lily grew stronger. It was beyond disgusting. That's how a casual fling turned into something serious.
It's your fault for having such a cute kid. Maybe it's like Lily's DNA got mixed into me, and then I passed it to you.
Josh crossed his arms and looked down at me smugly. Lily immediately chimed in.
Huh? If you passed the DNA, isn't that your fault, Josh? Don't blame Samantha.
Oh, right, it's my fault.
Their vulgar laughter echoed through the room, completely ignoring May's presence. Lily, weren't we best friends since kindergarten? I asked weakly. Lily slightly pouted her pink lips and tilted her head.
Yeah, we were. So what?
25 years of friendship came crashing down.
We're having our wedding in Hawaii, so you better come.
To invite me to their wedding in this situation, did Lily seriously think we were still friends? Of course that was impossible. And so, we got divorced. Josh quickly married Lily, and they really did have their wedding in Hawaii. Josh's father apologized profusely, his face pale, but his mother remained the same.
Well, if it's Lily, cheating's kind of understandable. She's just so pretty. Honestly, I always wished Josh would marry her instead of you. Josh did great landing someone like Lily.
Josh's father offered a settlement of $100,000. It was probably their family savings. It was more than the standard amount, so I accepted it as covering May's child support too. Lily didn't have the ability to pay any settlement herself, but her father ended up stepping in. Lily's family lived in the biggest mansion in the area, so it was strange to think she had attended public school like the rest of us. Yet, despite their wealth, the settlement came to only $5,000. I shrugged. Are they rich because they are stingy, or stingy because they are rich? After the divorce, I moved with my parents to the next town over. Whenever I remembered Josh's betrayal or Lily's two-faced nature, I felt like I'd lose my mind. What helped me get through the pain was my parents' support and May's existence. Over time, Josh and Lily faded from my heart, leaving it completely filled with May. Time flew by, and suddenly 14 years had passed. May grew up healthy, never suffering any major illnesses, and turned 14 years old. Next year, she will already be in high school. We were browsing through a large shopping mall to prepare for the new school year. Suddenly, someone tapped me on the shoulder from behind. Did you decide on the mechanical pencil? Oh. I turned around and froze. Grinning smugly behind me were two familiar faces. Their features had changed, but there was no mistaking them. It was Josh and Lily.
Wow, it's been ages. You've turned into such an auntie.
Josh, don't be rude. Don't tell a woman she's let herself go.
Their malicious words made me want to throw them right back at them. Josh was dressed like a man desperately clinging to his youth, with thinning, dry hair and a face lined with wrinkles. Lily, on the other hand, still had her good figure, but time hadn't spared her either. Her sagging cheeks and deep laugh lines ruined what had once been a beautiful face. Like Josh, she was dressed in clothes far too young for her age. From behind, they might have looked like a couple in their 20s.
Since somebody dumped her, she's been struggling as a broke single mom, so of course she looks a little worn out. Josh?
Pretending to scold Josh, Lily took the opportunity to mock me. Even after 14 years, they hadn't changed. If anything, they'd become even more rotten. Horrible memories I thought I'd buried started replaying in my mind. My head ached, but I forced a calm expression and ignored them.
Hey, Sam. So, we've got 3 kids now. Hey, are you listening?
But Josh wouldn't let up, continuing to talk to me.
Sam, you just give off this sad, unlucky vibe. How about we share some of our happiness with you? I'll bring the kids over, and we can all grab dinner together.
The past was the past. They had nothing to do with my life anymore. Determined to ignore them, I tried to quickly walk away. But right then, May appeared in front of me, waving and running up with a smile.
Mom, I picked a mechanical pencil.
She proudly showed me the pencil she'd chosen, her smile so radiant it could have been on a poster. Even as her parent, I had to admit May's smile was breathtakingly beautiful.
Whoa, she's adorable.
Josh blurted it out almost involuntarily, unable to hide his surprise.
Wait, is this?
He looked at May like he was seeing a celebrity, his face slack with awe. Reluctantly, I nodded.
May? This is May. No way. She's too cute.
The daughter he abandoned had grown into a beautiful girl, and he couldn't hide his excitement. But it was clear he wasn't looking at her as his daughter. He was seeing her as just another pretty girl. It was nauseating.
You've got to be kidding me.
Lily's low voice broke the moment, and Josh froze, his sloppy grin still plastered on his face.
This can't be happening. That kid looks way too much like me.
Lily stepped back, her expression one of horror. It was true. May had grown into a stunning girl who bore an undeniable resemblance to Lily's younger self. If someone introduced May as Lily's daughter, no one would question it. May wasn't at fault for being beautiful, but I couldn't deny the uncomfortable feelings it stirred up. In a way, I was glad to see Lily again. There was no way anyone would believe Lily and May were related now. They do look alike, but, well, not current Lily at all. Lily was still beautiful, but her once round, sparkling eyes had narrowed into a sharp glare, and the corners of her mouth drooped into a permanent frown. With deep wrinkles etched into her forehead and around her eyes, she looked like a wicked witch. May, startled by Lily's intense stare, quickly hid behind me.
Mom, who is she?
May asked anxiously, not realizing that the man she saw was the father from old photos. She also seemed completely unaware of how much she resembled Lily. I couldn't let her get caught up in this mess, so I told her to wait for me at a nearby cafe. Once May had walked away, Still looking suspicious, I turned to face Josh and Lily. Lily, unable to contain herself, started shouting.
Samantha, you're the worst woman ever. You were messing around with my dad, weren't you?
What?
That kid. She looks just like me. That means she's my dad's kid, doesn't it? Gross. You're the worst.
Lily's disgusted voice echoed through the shopping mall, drawing the attention of nearby shoppers. I suddenly remembered Josh's nonsense from 14 years ago. Lily's DNA had somehow passed through him to me and created May. What was he? A pollinating bee? It was absurd. Are you serious? That's ridiculous. I sighed in disbelief, watching Lily grow even more hysterical.
You cheated, didn't you? Why? Was it because my dad's good looking? Did you actually fall for him? Ugh, that's so gross. Or was it for the money? Did you sell yourself? Cheating with my dad? Disgusting.
Lily kept shrieking, completely losing it. I sighed again, this time calmly, and spoke. You know, people who cheat always assume everyone else is cheating too. Lily suddenly froze, her mouth snapping shut. It had been a joke, but her wide eyes and trembling shoulders told me she took it very seriously.
How do you know that? Were you secretly digging around just to get back at me?
Lily, who is great at accusing others, but terrible at being accused, made a statement that was basically a confession. So I hit the nail on the head, huh? Unexpectedly, a crack appeared between Lily and Josh.
Lily, I trusted you. I divorced Samantha for you.
What? No, it wasn't cheating. It was just fun.
Since their relationship had started with an affair, it wasn't surprising they'd turn on each other so easily.
You're the worst.
Josh harshly criticized Lily.
No, it's not like that.
Lily, with tears pooling in her eyes, clung to him. Watching this ridiculous scene play out, I couldn't hold back my laughter. Wow, Josh, you're mad about being cheated on? You did the exact same thing 14 years ago. Josh, finally realizing he was no better than the cheating scumbag he was accusing Lily of being, looked down awkwardly. I guess being betrayed himself finally made him understand the pain.
Samantha, I'm sorry. Honestly, marrying Lily was a mistake. She's so bossy and scary, and the kids are so rude. I've got no authority as a father at all.
Just a moment ago, Josh and Lily had been laughing like an obnoxious, perfect couple. But it seemed Josh had been building up resentment for a while.
You know, maybe you're the only one who truly understands me, Sam. I want to come back to you.
Josh slumped his shoulders, looking up at me with puppy dog eyes. For a brief moment, I almost felt sorry for him, like an old stray dog begging for attention. But when I blinked, all I saw was a grown man desperately clinging to his youth, and it made me sick. Absolutely not. I cut him off clearly, and Josh's bottom lip jutted out in a pathetic pout. Lily, furious, smacked Josh hard across the back.
Are you kidding me? You're going to dump me when we have kids? Unbelievable. And don't forget Samantha cheated on you too. And she had a kid with my dad.
Josh looked back and forth between Lily and me, his eyebrows furrowing helplessly.
So both of you cheated. This is the worst.
Where did he get off saying that? I sighed for what felt like the 100th time today. To clear my name, I decided to share a little secret. You know, May might actually share the same blood as you, Lily. Lily's face lit up, and she grinned so widely it revealed her gums.
See, I knew it. Oh my God, that's so disgusting. You're the kind of woman who sleeps with her friend's dad. How gross can you get?
She practically celebrated, her voice full of glee. She really should have let me finish. Ignoring her excitement, I continued. But I wasn't the one who cheated. I turned my gaze to Josh and spoke the truth. The ones who cheated were your mom, Josh, and Lily's dad.
What?
Lily's triumphant glow vanished instantly, and her voice dropped to a deep, stunned pitch. Josh, meanwhile, stood frozen, his mouth hanging open like an idiot. So, you see, that means my child just happens to resemble her grandfather. With a faint smile, I dropped the final bomb. I had actually learned this secret years ago, shortly after Josh and I split, from my former mother-in-law.
You know, it must be a family thing, falling for the same kind of people. Just between us, I used to date Lily's father back in the day. We were both married by then, so we couldn't be together, but we really loved each other. If Josh marries Lily, then we'll all finally be a family. It's like fate brought us together. I'm so happy.
It was such a shocking confession that I had no words. Did she say that to brag, or to rub salt in my wounds as Josh was walking out on me? I never knew, and I didn't care. I don't know who Josh's real biological parents are, but the fact that Josh's daughter looks exactly like Lily's father, that's undeniable. Do you get what that means? Josh and Lily looked at each other, their eyes wide with shock as they fell silent.
Siblings?
Lily's conclusion was probably correct. Josh and Lily, who were now married, were actually half-siblings. Josh's face twisted in horror.
You've got to be kidding me. Lily and I are siblings. No way.
His distorted expression suddenly turned pale.
Wait a minute. Is it even legal for siblings to get married? Isn't this bad?
Josh's lips trembled as he spoke, and I replied in a gentle tone. Legally, you're strangers on paper, so I don't think it's a problem. Josh shook his head violently.
No, that's not the point. Isn't it bad for close relatives to have kids together? Is that why our kids are so dumb rude and won't listen to me?
Clearly, raising his children hadn't been easy for him. But what a horrible thing to say. Lily immediately jumped in.
That's not it. None of those kids are even yours.
Wait, seriously? Oh, thank God, wait, what?
Oh,
Considering how loose-lipped Lily was, the fact they'd lasted 14 years as a couple was nothing short of a miracle. Apparently, Lily hadn't wanted Josh's small eyes to be passed down to her kids, so she'd recruited other better-looking men to help her out. Being a beauty herself, she wanted to make sure her kids were 100% gorgeous.
hey, I'm sorry. It's not like I meant any harm. I only did it for the kids' sake. And look, at least we didn't have kids as siblings, right? You should be thanking me.
Lily, sweating profusely, tried to defend herself.
You think that excuse is gonna fly?
Josh roared, making Lily shrink back.
This is the worst. I can't forgive you or my mom. You're all disgusting.
Josh collapsed to his knees, overwhelmed by bitterness and hate. Why did he look like he was the tragic heroine here? I can't forgive you either, Josh. You cheated and abandoned me and our newborn May. His exaggerated sobbing briefly stopped.
No, it wasn't cheating. It was just fooling around.
People who cheat always claim it wasn't serious, as if that excuses anything. And just now, Lily admitted she cheated on you, but it was just fooling around, too. So I guess you're even. You're both the same. For a guy who'd been unfaithful himself, Josh sure was squeamish about the same thing happening to him. He sobbed loudly, ignoring the irony. You two really are perfect for each other. I wish you all the happiness in the world. Then I remembered this was all happening in the middle of a shopping mall. Embarrassed, I straightened my back and walked away with confidence. When I reached the cafe where May was waiting, we started to leave the mall until we heard shouting in the distance. May pointed toward a growing crowd.
Isn't that them?
Sure enough, Lily was yelling hysterically.
What? It's just something kids do. If they broke it inside the store, it's the store's responsibility.
Apparently, Josh and Lily's kids had broken some merchandise while being left unattended.
Listen, if you knew there weren't any parents around, it's your job to watch them.
The problem wasn't their DNA. It was clearly their parenting.
This has nothing to do with me. I'm not responsible.
What? You've never been involved with the kids anyway. You've done nothing remotely fatherly, so stop whining already. You're the biggest child in this family.
Josh and Lily started physically shoving each other, completely ignoring their kids. They knocked over displays in merchandise as they flailed, creating a scene far bigger than just a broken item. May, let's go home.
Yeah.
I took May's hand and walked out of the mall, leaving the chaos behind. Later, Josh went crying to his father and quickly exposed his mother's affair. Maybe he just wanted sympathy for himself, but it escalated into his parents getting divorced. Josh's mom demanded all the family assets as part of the settlement, and his father agreed. But it turned out their savings only amounted to $3,000.
Why is there so little?
Josh's mom reportedly had a meltdown. The reason for their lack of savings was likely the large settlement paid to me. By the time she tried to say, "Let's call off the divorce," it was already too late. The $3,000 she was left with barely covered the cost of moving into a small apartment, and the very next day, she was already struggling to make ends meet. Apparently, Josh's father had some money hidden in his personal account, but that was kept secret. Still working, Josh's father wasn't in financial trouble and was even expecting a decent retirement fund in a few years. Desperate, Josh's mom turned to Lily's father for help. They had once been in love, so she likely thought he'd come to her rescue.
Why on earth should I take care of you?
But she was turned away at the door. Lily's parents had already divorced due to her father's repeated affairs. Her mother left with a hefty sum of money. Even though both Lily's dad and Josh's mom were technically free now, he refused to take her in, leaving her in shock. Meanwhile, arguments between Lily and Josh became more frequent, but they never divorced. After his parents split unexpectedly, Josh had no home to return to. Josh's father never forgave him for abandoning me for Lily. Josh stayed with Lily out of necessity, or so it seemed. In reality, he had another plan. He was eyeing Lily's father's inheritance. Without anyone to care for him, Lily's father's health quickly declined, and he passed away 2 years after his divorce.
All his money is mine now since mom's gone too.
Hell yeah.
Word of this reached me through mutual acquaintances. At the funeral, Josh and Lily reportedly celebrated inappropriately, saying things they shouldn't have. However, when they checked his bank accounts, they were completely empty. The family safe was empty too. Even when they searched the house like a team of IRS agents, lifting carpet and all, not a single stack of cash turned up.
Why? Where did all my money go?
It turned out Lily's family had been wealthy, but that was a thing of the past. It seems her father had squandered the fortune he inherited from his parents before he passed away. He had indulged in extravagant affairs, and no amount of money could have been enough to sustain that lifestyle. The final blow had been the massive settlement paid to Lily's mother during their divorce. To make matters worse, they were now being pressured to sell the family mansion. When Josh's hopes were dashed, he somehow found my number, probably through a mutual connection, and called me.
Lily's dad's kids are coming out of the woodwork one after another. Even though I told them there's no inheritance left, they're demanding we sell the house and split the money. They're so greedy.
Josh was, once again, acting like the victim.
There's no point in me sticking around with Lily anymore. We were supposed to move to Hawaii once we got the inheritance. I was tricked. So, Sam, I thought maybe you and I could.
That's where I cut him off. You and I are completely done. Stop calling me. It's a nuisance.
But Sam, I
had no intention of reconciling. Just hearing his pathetic sweet talk made me feel like I was losing years off my life, so I quickly ended the call. I later heard through the grapevine that the mansion was sold, and the proceeds were divided among Lily's siblings. Josh, being both a son-in-law and technically family, demanded a larger share and started a huge fight over it. He was thrown out of the house barefoot. Lily, who had been living well beyond her means, had taken out numerous loans, believing that once her father passed, everything would be paid off. She dreamed of moving to Hawaii to live an easy, luxurious life, but that dream never came true. Unable to escape her mountain of debt, she reportedly took a job arranged by some shady individuals. As for their kids, neither Josh nor Lily could care for them anymore, so they were placed in a facility. There, their behavioral issues finally settled down, which only proved that the real problem had been the way they were raised. In the end, all those selfish people were left to suffer in their own miserable realities. Now, the seasons have changed, and it's time for the new school year to begin. May runs lightly down the path lined with blooming sunflowers.
Mom, hurry up.
Calm down, May. It's just your first day of school. No need to get so excited. Honestly, you're such a kid sometimes. May giggled playfully, her face lit up with an innocent smile. Her slightly oversized uniform made her look even more endearing, still carrying that childlike charm. Once the first day ended and we returned home, my parents would surely be waiting with a celebratory feast. Feeling a deep sense of happiness, I watched May's skirt sway as she walked, her joy shining through every step.